Hi, this is Lucio Simoni. I'm the engineering manager for BC Biomedical. And in this video, we'll be talking about the TRL-2420 tissue response load. This is an accessory for the ESU-2400 and ESU-2400H, and it's intended to be used with the Force Triad ESU generator. So to begin, we'll talk about the connections. On the Force Triad side, we have a modified ligature cable. There are two tines here. If we consider one to be the active and one to be the dispersive, then when we go to the TRL-2420, we have the other end of that cable I have connected to two safety jacks. You can also use banana jacks for these. But the TRL-2420 has a connection for DUT return electrode. So we'll consider that to be the return, so that if that's the return, the other one is active. We'll plug the active electrode into the ESU-2400. The other connection I have is to ESU-2400 dispersive. So I'll connect a cable there, standard cable from the accessory kit of the ESU-2400, and I'll plug that into the dispersive lead on the 2400. Now it's important to note that I can connect to either terminal. It really doesn't matter, both will work the same. So on the 2400, now you'll notice this one is the 2400H. It's good to note that this will work with either model. So we'll go to measure RF energy, and we'll see the button at the top that says tissue test. When this is configured, it's set up to use the ligature foot switch input on the Force Triad. So when I press the button, it will trigger the generator. And you'll see after a few seconds, we got the audio response from the Triad saying that the seal was made on the tissue. And we get a graph of the current and how it changed. And after 2 seconds, it cut off, and our trip current was 246 milliamps. So what's happening inside here, we have incandescent bulbs. These are a special lamp with a safety coating, so that in case they do break, it won't create a lot of glass inside the unit when you have to replace the bulb. But there are two bulbs in here, and the incandescent bulb, as it heats up, it changes resistance, and that simulates tissue to the generator. So we have two settings on the response load. We can go to low power or high power, and we'll see here it tripped at 246 milliamps. When I go to high power, it will trip at a higher current of 780 milliamps. Now if we go to 3 bars, we can test on 1, 2, or 3 bars on the Triad. If we're at 3 bars on high power, this will test another function of the generator, where after 12 seconds of trying to seal the tissue, it should create an error and tell you that something went wrong and it deactivated the output. So in this case, we can see on the Force Triad, there's the endpoint not reached and seal cycle interrupted. And that occurred after 12 seconds. So that allows us to test all of the functions on the generator. Now in order to test this function, I've got the BC Group Force Triad foot switch cable connected. Now you might ask, do I have to have that in order to run this test? No, but it does make it a lot easier. If I don't have the foot switch cable connected, I can trigger the test by pressing the foot switch button on the 2400. That starts the test. And then on the generator, I can press the start RF, and that will activate the output. So at the same time, if I go to high mode and I start the test, we should get the 12-second timeout as well, allowing us to test that function without the foot switch cable connected. So it's important to note that this test is not actually a part of the PM procedure on the Force Triad. We do have an auto sequence in the 2400 that will completely test the Force Triad, but in this case, the tissue response load is used if you get a complaint or a question from the surgeon or the staff saying, I think there's something wrong with ligature. This provides you a way to test the ligature in a clinical mode outside of the PM procedure. So we can see here again, it ran for 12 seconds, it timed out and turned off because we were in high power setting and at power level 3. That concludes all of the features and functions of the tissue response load box. For more information on BC Biomedical products or more training videos, please visit us on the web at bcgroupstore.com.